John Kuvakas here. Today I'm going to be unboxing a model that's been around for a little while, but I think is worth a second look. It's Brooklyn's 1965 Chevrolet Supersport Impala. This is the convertible version. You know, when Brooklyn let it be known that they were going to be making a coupe, it was hotly anticipated. I know several people that were really looking forward to. These are the cars we grew up with. 65 was a pivotal year. A lot of people think that all of the manufacturers really hit their stride to 65 and 66. Gone were the sharp edges and the fins and the chrome and all that of the 50s, and the smaller sizes of the early 60s, and with these flowing lines, these unified designs. In my eyes, the 65 Chevy was just one of the most beautiful cars made in America in its intro year. So the Impala was a separate line from 1958 all the way through 1970. By 1965, they were in their fourth generation. It was an all-new car, perimeter frame, the B-body. General Motors had these flowing, subtle lines and well-developed surfaces, their design. And the Impala was supposed to be the best of everything that Chevy offered. The better interiors, the better trim, wider variety of engines, that sort of thing. They did have a $200 option that year called the Caprice, which became its own separate lineup in 1966, but in 65 it was a model, a trim level within the Impala lineup. So the Impala, you know, the new design on the Impala worked. Chevrolet set an all-time sales record for full-size cars in 65, 1.67 million cars. Over 1 million of those were Impalas. Nobody's ever made that many of a single nameplate since, and nobody had done it before. So it's the all-time sales record for full-size nameplates. The car was available with everything from a 250 cubic inch six-cylinder to a fire-breathing. There was a 409 available, 400 horsepower early in the year, but as the year progressed, the 396 made its introduction, and that was just a legendary motor. It could be had with up to 425 horsepower. So Brooklyn has given us a coupe and a convertible. This is the convertible version. You know, every time I look at the box, I love it a little bit more. What I really like about it is that I can take the model out of the box, and I don't have to put on my gloves to worry about touching the model. I can literally take it out of the box without touching it. And so the coupe was, I thought the coupe was just a beautiful model. It was well detailed. It was one of those cars that Brooklyn just had to get correct. I mean, the lines were iconic. They're hard to reproduce and get it, that roof line, the way it meets the trunk. It was just very difficult to get that right. The three taillights in the back, the whole rear end, the front quarter, Brooklyn just had to get it right. And boy, they nailed it. And it was a great car, great little model. So when they introduced the convertible, we expected something more. And you know what? We got it. So let's take a closer look at the car. As we put it on the turntable here, we see a number of things that I'd like to call your attention. They didn't just reissue the coupe with the roof cut off. They redid the interior. It's got extra chrome trim. It's got trim on the doors. The door handles are not separate, but they're nicely picked out. The interior looks great. The console is very well produced. As a matter of fact, I had to do some digging here and find out that that console, that round thing on the console, which most people think would be a tachometer, is actually a clock, and you can see that in the full-size car. So the dash is nicely picked out. Steering wheel is accurate for the 65. The badging is, it's just beautiful. That little emblem on the front quarter panel right near the front of the fender would show that this would be a 283, 327 and above would have had the engine callouts on it. But the Super Sport nameplate is picked out, separate door handles. The I'll tell you, the grille, they just got it right. That had a very special look, and Brooklyn has captured it. The rear three-quarter, the rear, where three taillights are, and that little black strip that lived just below the taillights and above the bumper, which said that this was a super sport. They did really well. The spinner hubcaps are very delicately produced. It's just a beautiful car, and the color it's spot on for rally red. It's a dynamic, stunning color combination, black interior. A lot of people said, gee, we don't want black interior on a convertible, but you know, as far as on this model here, it works really well. So I think this is a great car. I think Brooklyn added value to it when they came out with the convertible, so it's not just a rehash of the coupe. They've given us a bit more detail on it, beautiful color and everything. It's a great car. It's really worthy of a second look. I've seen some pictures of this car on some of the online forums, and they haven't been as flattering as they could be, but I'm going to tell you something. Sitting here in person, the car is stunning. It's a beautiful model. I hope you enjoyed our time together. Thank you for listening.